Hi guys, happy Wednesday and welcome back to Big Quiz TV. It's wonderful to have you here. We've got a great quiz lined up, so let's have a look at today's rounds. So number 1, we've got a guess the historical figure. For number 2, we've got picture round. For round 3, we've got 5 clues. For round 4, we've got a human anatomy matchup. And then for our final round, we have general knowledge as usual. If you're new here, we do 2 rounds and then the answers afterwards, so make sure you stick around after each round to tally up your score. I also give you 10 seconds to answer each question before moving on to the next. So let's go into round 1, guess the historical figure. Figure 1. I'm a Chinese philosopher and teacher who lived in the 5th century BC. I taught the basis for much of Chinese thought, particularly regarding family relationships. Who am I? Question 2. I am the founder of the Protestant Reformation. I'm a monk, but I became disillusioned with the corruption inside the Roman Catholic Church. Who am I? Figure number 3. I'm a painter and a sculptor whose most famous works are the statue of David and the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel at Vatican City. Who am I? Figure 4. I am one of the founding fathers of the USA and penned the words of the Declaration of Independence. I also helped to write the Constitution and became the 3rd President of the USA. Who am I? Figure 5. I'm a German composer and pianist. However, what's perhaps most remarkable about my career is that I was completely deaf. Who am I? Figure 6. My image is seen on the $100 bill. I was also one of the founding fathers and considered an all-round genius. Who am I? Figure 7. I founded the Mongol Empire, which, after my death, became the largest contiguous empire in all of history. Who am I? Figure 8. I'm an Austrian composer, and the mystery around my death is almost as famous as I am. I was a prodigious musician who composed the melody to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star when I was only 3 years old. Who am I? Number 9. I'm most famous for my invention of the light bulb, but I also did a lot more than that. Many believe me to be America's greatest inventor, and I also invented the phonograph. Who am I? And final figure. I was known as the Little Emperor, but I'm not so little in history books. I rose to power during the French Revolution, which quickly spiraled into chaos and threatened to destroy the nation. Who am I? And that's the end of round 1. Hopefully you enjoyed that. We're going into round 2, picture round. 10 seconds for each. You won't need me for this, so I'll see you on the other side. And that's the end of round 2, bringing us into round 1 answers for Guess the Historical Figure. So historical figure number 1, the Chinese philosopher, was Confucius. Figure number 2, the founder of the Protestant Reformation, was Martin Luther. Figure 3, the painter and sculptor, was Michelangelo. Figure 4, one of the founding fathers of the USA who penned the Declaration, was Thomas Jefferson. Number 5, the German composer and pianist, was Beethoven. Figure number 6, the image seen on the $100 bill, was Benjamin Franklin. Number 7, the person who founded the Mongol Empire, was Genghis Khan. Figure number 8, and the Austrian composer was Mozart. Figure 9, famous for the invention of the light bulb, Thomas Edison. And finally, figure number 10, the little emperor, was Napoleon Bonaparte. So that's the end of round 1 answers. Let's go into round 2 answers for pictures. Number 1, this is kale. Number 2, this is an ostrich. Number 3, this is called a tutu. Number 4, this is Magic Johnson. Number 5, this is called a yucca tree. Number 6, this is a Great Dane. Number 7, this is called a magnolia. Number 8, this is Eazy-E. Number 9, these shoes are called Mary Janes. And number 10, this is a garlic crusher. So that brings us into round 3, 5 clues. So I'm going to name 2 figures, or rather I'm not going to name them. I'm going to give you some clues as to who they are, 5 in total. If you get the figure in 1 clue, you get 5 points. If you get the figure in 2 clues, you get 4 points. 3 clues, 3 points, and so on. You are obviously aiming to get the figure in that first clue, but it's going to be really, really tough. Let's see how you do. You have 10 seconds between clues to try and figure out who it is. Figure number 1, clue number 1. My parents were actors, and Nancy Dow is my mother. Clue number 2. I am one of the wealthiest actresses in Hollywood, and I've starred in films with Adam Sandler, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Ben Stiller. Clue number 3. I starred in a failed Ferris Bueller sitcom as the older sister of Ferris. Clue number 4. I married Brad Pitt in the year 2000. And final clue, I played the character Rachel in Friends. Okay, so we're going to move on to person number 2. Clue number 1. I was born September 15th, 1984, London, England. Clue number 2. I attended a sequence of private schools before entering prestigious Eton College. Clue number 4. I founded the Invictus Games, an international sporting competition for injured and sick veterans and service people. And that's the end of 5 clues, which brings us into round 4, human anatomy matchup. So down the side of the screen, down one side, I'm going to have 10 scientific names for body parts, and down the other side, I'm going to have the more informal names. All you need to do is match them up. Now, again, for accessibility, I am going to be reading all these out for those who can't look at their device right now. But if you don't want to listen to my voice, feel free to mute now. I'm going to read it out and I'm going to give you 30 seconds after I read to try and work out the matchup. Best of luck. So, the scientific names are femur, sternum, coccyx, humerus, tibula, fibula, calcaneus, patella, phalanges, and clavicle. And then the more informal names are tailbone, arm bone, shin bone, kneecap, breastbone, collarbone, heel bone, thigh bone, calf bone, and toes/fingers. 30 seconds, off you go. And that's the end of your 30 seconds. If you're needing a bit longer, please feel free to pause now because I'm going to move on to the round 3 answers. So let's go straight into figure number 1. So the person who has Nancy Dow as her mother, who is the wealthiest actress or one of them in Hollywood, starred in a failed Ferris Bueller sitcom, married Brad Pitt, and played Rachel, was of course Jennifer Aniston. And then the person who was born in 1984, London, attended Eton College, encountered intense criticism when he made the decision to wear a Nazi uniform to a party, founded the Invictus Games, and whose mother was Princess Diana, was of course Prince Harry. So really well done if you got both of them in very few clues. Let's see how you did with the human anatomy matchup. So a femur matches up with the thigh bone. The sternum matches with the breastbone. The coccyx is the tailbone. The humerus is the arm bone. The tibula is the shin bone. The fibula, the calf bone. The calcaneus is the heel bone. The patella is the kneecap. The phalanges are the toes/fingers, which means the clavicle is the collarbone. Really well done if you got 10 out of 10. That was super tough for me when I was researching it, so hopefully you managed to do better than I did. That brings us into general knowledge, 10 questions, 10 seconds each. Question 1. What is the primary diet of a koala? Question 2. Which European country was divided into separate states by the Treaty of Westphalia in 1648? Question 3. Who was the British monarch during World War I? Question 4. Fill in the gaps of this Dr. Seuss book. Green, something, and ham. Question 5. Who has won the most FIFA Ballon d'Or awards? Question 6. What is the highest mountain in North America? And I'll take the name now or its original name. Question 7. How many American colonies declared independence in 1776? Question 8. How long is a marathon? Is it A, 22.195 kilometers, B, 32.195 kilometers, C, 42.195 kilometers, or D, 52.195 kilometers? Question 9. In which museum is the painting Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh? And finally, number 10. Which cheese from Cyprus/Greece is often described as squeaky? And that brings us into round 5 answers for general knowledge. Number 1. Primary diet of a koala bear is eucalyptus leaves. Number 2. The European country that was separated in the Treaty of Westphalia was Germany. Number 3. The British monarch in World War I was George V. Question 4. Green, eggs and ham was the title. Number 5. The person who's won the most FIFA Ballon d'Or awards is Lionel Messi. Number 6. The highest mountain in North America is Mount Denali/McKinley. Number 7. There were 13 American colonies that declared independence. Number 8. A marathon is 42.195 kilometers long. Number 9. The museum in which Starry Night can be found is the Museum of Modern Art, I believe in New York. And the final question, the cheese from Cyprus/Greece is of course halloumi. So that's the end of the quiz, guys. What did you achieve? Please remember to comment below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe because it definitely helps the channel. If you have any requests for specific rounds, please let me know. I've had a request for James Bond, so thank you so much. You will be seeing that in Saturday's quiz. So that's all for now. See you Saturday, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye!